Today has been a very productive, busy Sunday, cleaning out the closet, replanting plants, been doing all kinds of stuff. But today I wanted to talk about patterns of resonance. So in previous videos, I have spoken about how resonance can be different than what you prefer, which is often the case. So that means that you're vibrating at a frequency that is different than what you think. Happens all the time. So patterns of resonance, well, as we know, everything is running in patterns, always repeating in patterns. That's how things repeat, is because there's a pattern. The longer a pattern has been running, the more challenging it is to unhook from that pattern. So for example, if somebody comes to me and they've had sleep problems for the last, 5 years, that's not a problem. Somebody comes to me and they've had sleep planet problems for the last 40 years, that's more difficult to move. So when we have patterns of resonance, you can think of a pattern of resonance like this. Fear runs in a pattern. You have to resonate with the fear in order for that to be yours. Lack of money, it's a fear pattern. So most patterns that you're going to find that you're resonating with that are not a preference are going to be more fear-based or a limitation-based. So one thing that you can do is, you're not going to get them all at once. But what you can do is look at one of the fears. So start to identify so let's just say you have a daughter and you worry about your daughter. So then you would want to follow that resonance with the fear or the worry that is associated with that, what you're associating with your daughter or your child or whatever. And you would start to do what's called a pattern interrupt. So the moment you start to worry, you have a strategy in place to interrupt that pattern. That is the best and easiest way for you to do a pattern interrupt on yourself. Now, I do it with my clients energetically, and then that neutralizes the pattern. But for you to do it on your own, what you would do is to identify the pattern. So let's just say it could be a pattern of fear. Well, fears run through all kinds of things. They run through relationships, through family, through communication, through money. I mean, fear runs through so many crazy things. Just think about things that you have anxiety about that are not really grounded. So these fears are not real. So do a pattern interrupt is to simply identify the pattern and then have a strategy to implement the moment you have awareness that you have that pattern starting again. So for example, the pattern of fear, I'm going to go drink a glass of water. I'm going to drop and do 10 push-ups. I'm going to do 10 sit-ups. I'm going to go jump on the rebounder. I'm going to go do something that completely redirects that pattern. That's how you do a pattern interrupt on yourself. So if you have a fear of money, the moment you have an awareness that you're in fear of money, meaning you would say to yourself, I can't afford this, or, oh, that's too much money, or, oh, I'm spending too much over here. That moment that you have that thought is when you implement the strategy for pattern interrupt. So patterns of resonance are always there, but they're like an undercurrent. There's something you wouldn't necessarily give your attention to, and that's how they build. And that's how they become fundamentally a block. So you don't want to worry about your resonance. You want to have awareness about your resonance. You want to know what is it that you're vibrating with. And a lot of times people are vibrating with things that they don't want, that go against their preference. Why do they do that? They do that because there's a pattern there that has gone unconsciously and it's become repetitive. So you can block that repetitiveness with your awareness. That is called self-awareness. That is called conscious awareness. That is all good to have awareness, but to get change, you have to make conscious change, which is why you want to implement a pattern interrupt. So maybe I should rename this pattern interrupt. All right. I hope you found this helpful. Have a great day. Bye. I'm Kiana Sage, and I guide people to peace. Bye.